Ladies and gentlemen, we are often taught that being kind is a virtue, that saying yes is noble, that keeping the peace is what makes us good. But there comes a point, a quiet, dangerous point, when kindness without boundaries becomes something else entirely. It becomes self-betrayal. Shi Heng Yi once said, "When you are kind to everyone but cruel to yourself, that is not compassion, that is disconnection." And this is the truth. Many people don't realize until they feel the consequences. Exhaustion, resentment, anxiety, and the slow fading of one's identity. Being kind does not mean sacrificing yourself to please everyone. It does not mean tolerating disrespect, overextending your energy, or saying yes when every part of you is screaming no. That is not kindness. That is fear. Fear of being disliked, misunderstood, or abandoned. But here's the truth. Kindness without boundaries is not noble. It's unsustainable. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give endlessly without honoring your own needs. You cannot keep betraying your own peace just to avoid uncomfortable conversations. In the Shaolin tradition, everything is about balance, yin and yang, soft and strong. Shi Heng Yi teaches that compassion must be paired with clarity. Love must be guided by wisdom. Otherwise, it becomes a trap, a mask that hides the truth of how you really feel. Let me ask you, how many times have you smiled when you wanted to speak up? How many times have you said, "It's fine," when it clearly wasn't? How many times have you helped others while secretly breaking inside? That's not kindness. That's a slow form of self-erasure. Real kindness includes you. It means listening to your limits. It means protecting your time and space. It means saying no when it's necessary, not with anger, but with strength. Some people may not like it. They may call you selfish. They may accuse you of changing. But that's only because your boundaries challenge their comfort. Remember, anyone who benefits from your lack of boundaries will see your strength as a threat. And that's okay. Because self-respect is not rudeness. Silence is not always peace. And saying no is not cruelty. It is the highest form of inner alignment. Shi Heng Yi reminds us, peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the presence of clarity. So if your kindness is creating inner conflict, it's time to reevaluate. Be kind, be compassionate, but do not be so kind that you disappear. Stand in your truth, speak with calm authority, and let your kindness be rooted in self-respect, not self-sacrifice. Every day, we wake up with a limited supply of something more precious than money, more limited than time. That something is energy. Your energy is your focus, your presence, your peace. And just like your body cannot run endlessly without rest, your mind and spirit cannot give endlessly without preservation. Shi Heng Yi teaches energy is life. To waste it on those who abuse it is to drain your own potential. Let's think about this. How often do we spend hours trying to please people who don't listen? How often do we explain ourselves to those committed to misunderstanding us? How often do we let someone else's chaos invade our calm? It may feel like kindness, like patience, like compassion, but slowly, day by day, it takes a toll. You begin to feel tired, bitter, confused, and that's when it hits you. Not everyone deserves your energy. This isn't arrogance, it's awareness. There is nothing enlightened about giving your best to those who don't value it. There is no honor in constantly showing up for people who drain you, disrespect you, or only seek you out when they need something. The truth is, your energy is sacred. It is not meant for everyone. You must learn to discern, because energy once spent cannot be regained. Attention once scattered cannot be fully restored. Shi Heng Yi speaks of the importance of preserving the mind, of cultivating stillness and discipline, and that discipline includes who you allow into your space. Ask yourself, does this person bring peace or confusion? Do they help me grow, or do they shrink my spirit? Do I feel seen and valued, or used and ignored? Your answers to those questions will reveal who deserves your energy and who only consumes it. This doesn't mean you become cold or shut everyone out. It means you start protecting yourself with conscious boundaries. You give with purpose, not out of guilt or fear. You learn to walk away, not out of hate, but out of wisdom. Because if you give your energy to everyone, you leave nothing for yourself. And when you are empty, even your presence becomes dull. Your creativity fades. Your clarity is clouded. So be selective, not selfish. Be wise, not defensive. You don't need to argue. You don't need to explain. Sometimes your peace is the only explanation required. Shi Heng Yi reminds us that a calm mind is a powerful mind. And to protect that calm, we must be guardians of our energy. Spend it where it grows, where it inspires, where it returns. Because your energy is your life force, and not everyone is meant to carry it. We live in a world obsessed with approval. We measure our worth by likes, applause, and agreement. But what if I told you that the more you chase approval from others, the further you drift from your true self? Shi Heng Yi reminds us of a powerful truth. When you try to please everyone, you betray your truth. There is no peace in living a life that isn't yours. There is no freedom in always wearing a mask. Yet, many of us spend years, even decades, trying to be what others want us to be. Polite, agreeable, always accommodating. But at what cost? We silence our opinions to avoid conflict. We dim our light to make others comfortable. We say yes when we want to say no, just to keep the harmony. But harmony built on self-betrayal is not harmony at all. It's quiet suffering. Shi Heng Yi teaches that authenticity, the courage to live in alignment with your truth, is greater than any applause or approval the world can offer, because approval is fleeting, but truth is eternal. You see, there will always be people who disagree with you. There will always be people who misunderstand you, criticize you, reject you. But that is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to be real, to speak your truth, even if your voice shakes, to honor your values, even when it's uncomfortable, to stop performing for a world that does not live your life. And yes, authenticity has a cost. You may lose some people, you may disappoint expectations, but what you gain is far greater: self-respect, inner peace, and real connection. Because when you live honestly, the right people find you, those who resonate with who you truly are, not who you pretend to be. Shi Heng Yi doesn't teach rebellion for the sake of ego. He teaches alignment, a life where your actions reflect your inner truth. That is real power, that is clarity, that is freedom. So ask yourself, what masks am I still wearing? Where am I being polite but not honest? Whose approval am I still chasing? And most importantly, what would my life look like if I lived it for me? Because the person who lives for approval becomes a prisoner. But the person who lives with authenticity becomes free. Be kind, but be honest. Be humble, but don't shrink. Be open, but never abandon yourself. Speak your truth with calm strength. Live your life with clear intention. And remember, you were not born to be liked, you were born to be real. There's a misconception in the world today that setting boundaries is cold, selfish, or unkind, that saying no is rude, that walking away is cruel. But Shi Heng Yi reminds us of a deeper truth. Setting limits is not unkind. It is the language of self-respect. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges. They define where you end and where someone else begins. They do not push people away. They protect what matters most: your peace, your energy, and your values. In the Shaolin tradition, discipline is not punishment, it's refinement, and boundaries are part of that discipline. You wouldn't let someone walk into your home uninvited and rearrange your furniture, so why let people into your inner world to disrupt your emotions, consume your time, or damage your clarity? Boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about choosing how you engage with intention and awareness. And the wisdom behind boundaries is this: you don't need to fight, argue, or explain endlessly. You just need to act with clarity. Let me be honest, not everyone will respect your boundaries. Some will test them. Some will call you cold. Some will feel entitled to more of your time, your kindness, your attention. But hear this clearly: you are not responsible for their comfort. You are responsible for your alignment. Saying no doesn't make you unkind. Walking away doesn't make you wrong. It means you're honoring your own path. even when others don't understand. Shi Heng Yi teaches that inner peace is not found in pleasing everyone. It's found in living within order. And boundaries are what allow that order to take shape. They protect your time so you can focus. They protect your emotions so you don't burn out. They protect your energy so you can give where it actually matters. You don't set boundaries because you are angry. You set them because you are clear. You don't draw a line to punish others. You draw it to protect yourself from abandoning who you are. And here's the beauty of it. When you create boundaries from a calm, grounded place, you begin to attract people who respect them, and you naturally repel those who only wanted access, not connection. So stop thinking that being endlessly available is love. Stop believing that always saying yes makes you good. The highest form of self-care, as Shi Heng Yi reminds us, is not indulgence, it is clarity. You can be kind and still have limits. You can be compassionate and still say no. You can love others and still protect your peace. That is not rejection. That is wisdom in action.